I'm here in sunny Nuneaton. It was a lovely sunny day. The reason I'm in Nuneaton is because it was a critical seat at the last general election. It's a marginal seat. The Tories won it in 2010. Can Jeremy Corbyn and the Labour Party turn it around?
I mean, one thing about Corbyn, he's shaking things up and he's made people think.
He gets slated in the media because he wants to do the most to actually help bring the country back together.
He's got some very good ideas. Just some bits are a little bit airy-fairy at the moment.
He's honest, he's different. I don't think he'd be a particularly good leader.
He hasn't got a lot of charisma.
What is that about him?
He's too cotton slippers. He's like Ed Miliband's grandfather.
What about Jeremy Corbyn? What do you think about him?
Yeah, at the time I'd never even seen him.
It isn't actually Jeremy, no. He does look like him.
Yeah.
One of the big problems Jeremy Corbyn has is actually a lot of time people don't necessarily know what his vision is or his policies. If I say the Labour Party, what instantly comes into your head? What do you think about them?
Chaos.
At the moment there's no policy, is there? It's just infighting and, that sort of thing.
He just seems very detached and away with his own principles.
Now, Nuneaton, I'll level with you, is not a town that looks like it's exactly bursting with prosperity. It's not booming under this Conservative-led government. All these empty shops everywhere. It's this solid working-class community. It is the sort of place you would expect to be the sort of place Labour should be winning. And if Labour can't win here, you do have to ask questions. Would you ever consider voting for Labour under Jeremy Corbyn?
No.
Theresa May might.
Yeah, you quite like her, maybe?
I do quite like her, actually. I do. Hopefully she's a bit of another Maggie Thatcher.
Oh, don't tell me that. I don't want to hear that. Could they ever win you over?
No, they're not strong enough.
Not strong enough,
No.
not tough.
They're not strong enough.
Do you like Theresa May?
No.
No.
Don't like the Conservatives, no.
So what about...
Don't trust them.
Who would you vote for? UKIP?
Yep.
Would you vote for Labour at the moment then? You wouldn't vote for them?
I voted UKIP at the last election.
Oh, God. How did you vote in the last general election?
UKIP.
And why did you vote UKIP? How did they get your vote?
They're getting more vote because I believe they can get a grip of immigration.
What could Labour say that make you think, yeah, going to give them a go?
Probably go a bit further than the Tories are going at the moment with immigration and all the rest of it.
So clamp down more on immigration?
Not just immigration, but get back control.
This is such a divided country. If you take immigration, here, people overwhelmingly voted to leave, and the main reason for that was immigration. But in London, which decisively voted to stay in the European Union, people, it's got very high levels of immigration in London, but people are far less hostile to immigration. And how does Labour square that? Because if they're seen here and they're seen as, got people saying, how would Labour mostly win them over by clamping down on immigration? If Labour had that policy in places like London and Manchester and Bristol, younger voters would go, oh no, I don't want that. It'd put them off. So it's straddling that divide, which is hard. So you're all in momentum, you're all in the Labour Party, you're all supporters of Jeremy Corbyn. The politics of Nuneaton tell us a huge amount about the politics of the country. Who forms the next government? When you're on the doorstep, talk about Jeremy Corbyn. What's the response you're getting on the doorstep?
You speak to them about Jeremy's ideas, and they support them wholeheartedly. Admittedly, when you tell them it's Jeremy, they're a bit worried, but that's because of what the media tells them.
That is the press we're stuck with, and we'll be stuck with them probably for a very long time to come. In that sense, if we just say, well, it's the press's fault, that's why people have a bad image of Jeremy Corbyn, then how can we ever win?
Well, we've got the social media now, haven't we? And Corbyn is really exploiting that and everybody around him.
But only a very small proportion of people in this country are talking about politics on social media. We need a media strategy, don't we? However hostile they'll be, most people just are not on Twitter talking about politics.
I think I'd slightly disagree with you there. Not Twitter. A lot of people are using Facebook now.
Not to talk about politics, though.
What they are doing is we're getting the Corbyn rallies on Facebook. Yeah. We can actually watch things live. You can watch debates live.
Jeremy Corbyn is going to win this leadership race. Yeah. If there was a general election, the Tories will just go, well, his own MPs don't have confidence in him, so why should you have confidence in him? That'll be their attack line. How can that change? What bridges can be built?
The PLP need to get behind their leader, just like all local councillors have done over the years. At the end of the day, if people are truly Labour, they will stick behind the democratic decision of whoever's leader, and they will get behind the party and will take the fight to the Tories and we'll win that general election. 2020, here in Nuneaton, last time Tories kept it, will we hear those magical words, Labour gain?
Yes.
That's confident. Wow, you are confident.
It's going to take some work, but yeah.
Jeremy Corbyn supporters are still feeling optimistic, but that doesn't go for everyone in the local Labour Party. I spoke to 2 local party stalwarts who aren't feeling quite so confident. So you've both got a pretty good idea what's going on with Labour in Nuneaton. You're a local county councillor and you're the vice chair of party membership. What do people think about Jeremy Corbyn here?
The thing is with Jeremy, he can reach out to a certain group of people, and they are the ones that are supporting him and they think he's great. But if Labour's going to win the general election, we've got to appeal again to those people who did vote Labour and then went and voted for other parties in 2010 and 2015. And for some reason, Jeremy just doesn't cut through to those people.
The polling says it's very bad for Jeremy Corbyn and Labour at the moment.
Yeah.
And it also shows that there's very little buyer's remorse in Britain about the Brexit referendum decision. If I ask people and they voted to leave the European Union, and I'm going to say the new leader of the Labour Party, if it's Owen Smith, he wants a second referendum, what do you think they're going to tell me?
Obviously there will be people who are annoyed at that, people who want us to leave the EU very strongly, but there'll also be people who think, well, actually we've missold Brexit and we want to change. We want to voice our opinion again.
PPI. It's like PPI claims, but...
Well, I wouldn't quite use that analogy, but to a certain extent.
Nuneaton, Labour game. When do you think we'll ever hear those words spoken on the general election evening?
The way we're going, it's going to be some time, not only because obviously we moved in the wrong direction at the last general election, but the boundary changes, which are obviously going to be pushed through now, that process starts next month, are not going to help us here for the Labour Party.
It could even be 2030, 2035 at this rate. I mean, Nuneaton is becoming more and more conservative. Demographically, it's changing in a more conservative way, whereas parts of London are becoming more Labour inclined. Nuneaton is going the other way, unfortunately.
Cheery stuff.
Yes, very cheery stuff.
Yeah, we've got a lot of hard work to do around here, but we'll keep battling away.
I wish there was somebody you are saying that made me change my mind and say
This might be a Conservative seat now, but this is not some leafy, suburban, uber prosperous part of Britain at all. I look around this place and I think it's kind of a travesty that it isn't represented by a Labour MP. And if Labour has a future, which I happen to think, or at least hope it does, then Jeremy Corbyn, who's going to be re-elected Labour leader, I think he needs to come to seats like this and come up with that bold, coherent vision and answer the fears that people currently have about the Labour Party. Not going to be easy. What do you think about the future of the country in terms of Labour? What does Labour have to do? What does Jeremy Corbyn need to do in order to convince maybe you or people you know who aren't persuaded at the moment? Come up with a strategy. Let's do this together. Let's come up with a winning strategy for Labour. How hard can that be? Easy. Easy. Do it in an afternoon. But as ever, subscribe, and I will see you next time.